Good Monday morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are getting up, getting at it, and having a great morning so far as we enter our work week. During these slower periods, I'm not gonna, talk and vent to death. I know we got some severe weather chances coming up in the future, but there's no point in talking about something that we don't really have any high confidence on what day it's going to occur, what's going to happen. So as we get later into the week, maybe we'll start doubling up videos on talking about a specific event. But in the meantime, during these slow periods, which we are going to have a lot of slow periods as we're transitioning seasons, I'm going to just give y'all daily forecasts and see how it goes. Hopefully you guys like it. And we'll go from there. And these videos will not be long, maybe just several minutes long, nothing like 20 or 30 minutes. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to give you an update on what's going on just for today. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like it. Appreciate y'all's ongoing support, even during the slow times, and people who continue to tune in. So a great way to stay up to date with the latest and greatest weather is hit me up on my social media links over there. It's a great way just to see what's going on with the latest weather, and if anything's coming up, I frequently post on there. So if you guys got anything I can pray about, put it in the comments below. Gives me an opportunity to pray over them. Gives others an opportunity also to pray over your ongoing situation, whether it's unspoken, whether you want to explain it. We're all down with anything here. So let's get going here. Let's just check out what's going on as far as, is it snowing anywhere, raining anywhere? Well, we'll start this off by about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So obviously if you're in the Central Standard Time, that's 7 a.m. But going forward here, there's going to be some rain ongoing still, where the front hasn't completely passed through. In fact, it's pretty mild waking up in southern areas of Georgia and Florida this morning. So some rain showers ongoing down here throughout the day today, maybe even some storms in northern parts of Florida. But then you look up here in northern sections of the Great Lakes region, you have some clippers, basically that northern stream energy that's flying through. You have a stout boundary setting up right here, and that's why it looks like the Northeast is going to stay pretty cold in this pattern, because nothing well below average or anything, just pretty chilly as we're getting into the last day of February, into the early few days of March. But there's going to be pieces of energy that continuously dives down here, and here's the first one today. We'll give areas of northern Michigan some snow, and then by the time you get into later this evening, as we're getting close to the midnight time frame, this will start to enter areas, maybe giving Buffalo a little bit of snow late this evening. I'm talking about 10, 11 p.m. And this will enter New York State. And at the same time as this is moving on out, this is moving on in. This will be our next piece of energy that flies through as the northern jet is kind of streaming across this region. So low pressures will kind of ride the boundary of that jet, and you have cold air up top kind of flying through. So it allows this northern piece to be more snow. So everywhere else is pretty quiet day. As far as temperatures, what do we expect? Well, this is around high temperatures today. The interior Northeast is going to be frigid. Like I said, there's a boundary setting up across here where you pretty much got all out winter conditions, and then you have maybe some spring conditions up, areas further south of that boundary, basically the warmer side of where this jet's setting up. But it's still pretty chilly across the southeast, the mid-Atlantic areas, but it's nothing too crazy. We're still last day of February, so you're getting up into the 60s in portions of the deep south and southeast. A lot of areas are in the 50s, most of the Ohio Valley's in the 40s. But you see this ridge building, this mid-level ridge, so you're starting to see these 60s and 70s build all the way up into South Dakota. Heck, there's even some 50s in the North Dakota, where the whole entire northeast part of the state is basically below 32 degrees, well below 32 degrees too. So this is basically where all that energy is going to fly throughout the week here. But places like New York City is going to be pretty chilly today. Boston's going to be well into the 20s, the interior Northeast very chilly. And then Florida, y'all are going to be baking in the sun all week. This is going to be the coolest day of the week for these areas down here especially. Coolest day of the week. We're going to warm up each day going forward throughout the work week. One thing we'll check out for the western areas of the U.S., and I know I don't have a lot of subscribers for this area, but we're going to talk about these areas too, especially when it's slow. And there's a pretty big time event going on up here in Washington State and Oregon, where you just basically have a flow of moisture just surging into these areas. And this is just now, between now and about 8 p.m. Central Standard Pacific time tonight. And you notice the rain just keeps going. This is 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so around 8 p.m. tonight for the Pacific areas of the U.S. over here. So, just a lot of rain up here, and then the areas of northwest Oregon, a lot of rain, probably anywhere from 1 to as much as 3 inches of rain will fall in these areas. And then the higher elevations, the snow levels are definitely pretty high in this area, as you have relatively above average temperatures in this region. But this is going to be a lot of rain. This is between now and this evening, later this evening for this region. Those areas in purple you see, that is 3.5, 4 inches of rain. Now, some of this is going to fall as snow in those higher elevations, but areas like Seattle, 1 to 3 inches of rain today easily, and all surrounding regions. It's definitely going to be a lot of rain in this region. As far as temperatures, y'all are pretty much above average everywhere. In the higher elevations, you're technically below average as far as temperatures. There's some news for you. And then areas along the basically the coastal sections of California, like LA, San Francisco, y'all are going to be well above average. A nice day, well into the 70s, the 60s. So beautiful weather expected for those regions. But in the valleys, y'all are going to be above average. And of course, you see the warm air surging. And look at that boundary right here. That's what I talk about when I always use the word boundary. Basically, cold air and warm air right against each other, as basically you just have a stationary cold front just kind of sitting there. But pretty well above average temperatures. This is what we call a zonal flow across the U.S., where basically all the cold air is bottled up to the north, and you have pretty much everybody south of that, from east to west, pretty warm. So as far as anomalies and what do you expect compared to average in this area, well, the western U.S. is pretty above average today, except at those higher elevations where you see the blue, but the red, that is above average temperatures, and well above average temperatures for some areas. So it's going to be a pretty warm day across the western U.S., but like I said, you're going to have pieces of energy flying through here all week. So we're going to really start to warm up throughout the week. And so tonight, what we're going to do is we're really going to start to break down what is going on with this severe weather potential as we get deeper into March. And this is not too far away, but at the same time, it's still far enough away to where we can't get into any kind of specifics, any kind of details. But there's definitely going to be troughing in the west, ridging that's going to build across the eastern U.S. Therefore, you're going to have a clashing of air masses into here. So this is something we're going to have to watch going forward. We'll get much detail into that tonight. So as we're slow, what we'll do is we'll make a pattern of just talking about the daily forecast in the mornings. And then in the evenings, we'll break down what it looks like going forward pattern-wise. And if there becomes a system to really latch on to and talk about, then, and it looks severe enough to where we need to start giving daily updates on what's going on, basically 2-a-days, then we'll continue to do that and break it down like that. But that's all I got, guys. Y'all have a great Monday. Monday is a struggle for a lot of people, but try to make it a good day. God bless everybody. Stay safe, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.